What's going on? We're at round 4 VCHSS. We're here. It's on a freaking mountain. I don't know how the GoPro is going to turn out, but...
And the hills are tall!
Yeah, no doubting. It's Bonesaw, by the way, in case you haven't subscribed to him. Link right there, upper right-hand corner.
Woo-woo!
That's right. So check it. I don't know if the GoPro is doing it justice, but let me just go in front of you here. Yeah, that's level. So you're going, this is ridiculous. Alright, and welcome, Blue Ridge 1 race commentary. So I gotta tell you, this one was kind of hard to get to. This was a 4.5 hour drive for me. I spent the night in a tent, and this was at the end of April going into May. It actually had gotten down to below freezing the night before. So I didn't sleep very well. It was incredibly windy, and I was really just not there. I was really kind of homesick, 4.5 hours away. So yeah, that was interesting. I always forget to say this. If you guys wouldn't mind, hit that like button if you like it. Hit that subscribe button if this is the first time you're seeing my videos. And hit that bell button so you get notifications when I post. We're going to do a few more races like this at least this year. This particular race has an interesting start here. It's engine off, but you roll up to this ditch. And you turn the engine off, then they flag you green, start your engine, and then you go over this hump. And it's really tricky because you kind of have to double clutch it, otherwise you're going to send the bike sky high and loop it right there off the start line. So let's see how I get on with that. Not too bad, still conservative on the launch, but I ended up being about mid-pack as usual. We come straight into this single track here. There was basically, you had to hammer on the brakes almost immediately. Come into this single track, bunched up, and this was actually kind of tough. It was really rooted. GoPro doesn't do these hills justice. You're going to hear that a lot in this video. This was on the side of a mountain. Here we are coming to the first serious downhill, and let me tell you, any rear brake at all, and the rear is coming around trying to meet you in the front. You had to really hammer on the front brakes, but you had to be really careful not to send yourself over the handlebars. So we come down this hill, made it, not bad. Get going up this straight here. This is actually an uphill incline. You can't tell by the GoPro, of course, but this is actually uphill. This cut I took was actually the hot lane. You actually skip a lot of that around, and it rejoins right about here. It's actually a really quick shortcut. Here we go on the second long downhill. I'm seeing, you can't hardly see in the video, but these guys, their rear tires are going out from underneath of them. Really sketchy, muddy, extreme, probably 45-degree angle downhill here. Come across this bridge. This whole racetrack was just simply absolutely beautiful. I need to just go to the mountains and just ride. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to just go to the mountains and ride. This bit right here was fun. You could hit these little jumps here. Also, before I forget to talk about it, this race was actually one of the first times that I'd ridden single track on the side of a mountain like this. I had previous experience at the Moto Cove last year, but that was not in a race setting. That was just go a half a mile and stop, go a half a mile and stop. Anyways, you can see right here, this guy's rear is coming out from underneath of him. Mine is too, and I couldn't keep momentum up to get out through this mud puddle here, so I had to kind of fight it. We fought it and we got going again, so that's always nice. This incline, it's off camber to the right and then to the left, or I'm sorry, to the left and then to the right, and it's rooted and muddy and straight uphill. And like I said, these cameras never do it justice. This section was actually pretty sweet. Really muddy, really muddy. It was tricking a lot of people up, so you'll see I'll come into kind of a traffic jam here. He's saying bridge, and I appreciate that because I was just going to go straight down into that river there. But come across this bridge here, past a couple people. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm feeling okay for energy at this point, but like I said, this is one of my first times doing these kinds of events like in a mountain like this, so I run out of steam really quickly. You know, when you're going downhill, you're trying to keep yourself from falling off the bike. When you're going up here, you're trying to keep the bike going. It's a lot of work, really a lot of work. I'll tell you though, tubeless would have been nice. Tubeless or moose would have been nice in this race. Right now I'm running the stock tire, which is getting kind of rounded. I got 35 hours on the bike, the stock tire, and I'm running 15 psi. So yeah, tubeless would have been nice. This downhill, I actually overshoot it a little bit. I didn't feel comfortable with making that right-hand turn, so I kind of just went through that tree there. You know, figured go ahead and loop around. I see traffic. Up, Bonesaw right there. Dang it. He's always catching me up by about mile marker 5 in these races. 3 to 5. He's always catching me up. We're going to have to change that this season. Next race, he had actually challenged me. Go to his channel and look at his challenge that he posted. So we got a little rivalry going on here. That'll be fun. First major backup. So right here, you cannot tell there's people stuck on the top of that hill. So right here, I'm all eyeballing it, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna go for it, right? This guy goes. I'm like, all right. So this guy sneaks by. Good job. And then I'm like, oh crap! I instantly seen what I had just done. And look how steep this is. I got both brakes on. It's just terribly steep, terribly slippery. I honestly, you know, I don't blame people for having problems with this hill, but when you're going up stuff like this, you just gotta hammer on. You gotta hammer on. You cannot stop. You cannot stop at all on these things. This guy's getting impatient, looking at me. He's like, come on. I don't blame him. So I try to get going here a little bit. I notice I'm on a route, so I back up a little bit. Traffic clears out a little bit, and then sit on the rear of the bike, and we get going. You can hear fight for grip right there, fighting for grip, but we got it. Now this hill was intense. Right about here, you can really see how immense it is, right here. That's one heck of a hill, and again, you know, the GoPro does not do this justice. This is a 45-50 degree angle on a slick, you know, uphill there. With you got roots, you got rocks. Here we go, first lap, coming through the checkpoint on first lap, and let's see what I place here. 17th. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, let's get going. To be honest with you, at this point, I'm burnt. I'm so burnt. This thing is 7 miles so far, no brakes. Well, I've taken a couple little teeny tiny breaks, but you're in a race. You're not really braking. You're not really taking breaks. You're just taking like 10 seconds to sit on the side to let somebody pass, and it's constant. This section here was actually one of my favorite spots. You come down this hill here, and you kind of rode this little valley. So far, I'd have to say this has been my favorite race as far as the scenery. Absolutely, just, you know, watching it on a YouTube video, it just doesn't do it justice. It was so immense. It was just absolutely beautiful. So we caught up to, I guess, a little bit of backup. look at that pass. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. One day I'd like to be able to ride like that. Anyways, we get through traffic here. I'd actually gotten stuck behind this one person. I think they were struggling just as bad as I was. But I had a little bit more energy at this point in the game. So I don't know where this came from, but I was actually riding like I actually knew how to ride here. Wait for this. I guess they were letting me pass, so I went ahead and passed. And then I guess I get some good, decent flow here, which I wish I had the endurance to do this kind of riding throughout the entire race, because to be honest with you, you can see me actually get some good flow going through here. And I don't know if you could see the curvature, but we're actually still going uphill. Now we're off camber to the side there, and it's slick as heck, but we're still going. Here's that hill again. Again, right here, you cannot see if there's anybody on this hill until you round the corner, and bam! Instantly realized, dag it again. So this time I was smart. I backed the bike down the hill, let a couple people go ahead of me. This guy was telling me to go, I was telling him to go, then he was telling me to go, so I was like, finally I was like, alright, fine, I'll go. Right here is a wheelie. I'm in a wheelie on one wheel over that rock there, off the face of that half-pipe looking thing. That was cool. That was some cool stuff. I don't know where that came from, but I'd love to be able to figure out how I did that and do it again. Here's this hill. I creep up to it slowly because I'm totally burnt. I'm totally done. This guy passes me, and I'm like, alright, so I just dump the clutch and go for it. This guy had gotten stuck on the side of the hill. So, totally to be expected. I take the outside line here. This is really sketch because you're just about over the edge there. Trying to keep momentum up. One heck of a hill. One heck of a hill. Probably the steepest hill I've ever climbed. The longest and the steepest hill I've ever climbed. Alright, so here we are at just about the end of the second lap. We go down this really steep deal here again. This is probably the most, one of the most longest and steep downhill descents. Really tricky. Like I said, any pressure on the rear brake, and it's coming around you. So you really have to hammer on the front brake. It sounds really sketchy, but that's the only way this would work. Alright, here we are coming through the end of second lap. Let's see here. 18th. I placed 18th so far. They flagged me for a third lap. So apparently I was quick enough to do a third lap, but I couldn't do it. There's no way. I was completely done. Honestly, all the years of smoking, and I just now started getting into endurance racing and stuff, and then riding on a mountain, you got thinner air, an extreme workout situation, really, honestly, because you're fighting the bike the entire time. I was just absolutely done. So here we are putting back to the truck. I had a 4.5-hour drive back home after riding this endurance race, and I'm just so tired. And I've noticed the closer the race is, the better I do. And I think what I'm going to start doing is, instead of tent camping for the closer races, I think I'm just going to wake up early and go Sunday morning. Because I've noticed when I go to sleep in my own bed and I wake up early, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to go to these races, I do so much better. So anyways, 18th out of 18, last place. Oh man. Oh well, it happens, right? Interestingly enough, the way the point system works is it actually put me at 11 out of 35 for the year in total standings. I'm almost in top 10 bracket. Next race is going to be the trick. Reedy Hole. That is going to be interesting. Reedy Hole in Surrey. It's going to be a lot of sand, a lot of real tight single track, so we're going to see how we do there. Please remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so I can send you notifications when I upload. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And anyways, I hope y'all have a good one. Peace.